Hey yo, what's up and welcome. I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome back to the LAFC career, where yes, today we will be getting into the transfer window stuff, our first transfer window of this series. But before we do that, we do have one game to play. We actually have two games before the transfer window. I'm going to play one and then I'm going to sim one. And let's take care of that first, because I've literally been sitting here for nearly 2 hours trying to figure out how I'm going to organize this episode and talk about everything I want to talk about and do everything we want to do. And my mind is just going numb at this point. So let's get in. Let's play ourselves a game. We have Columbus up first. And then after that, we'll worry about the transfer window business. So this is what we're going to go with here against Columbus. They're actually in third place in the Eastern Conference as well, so they're having a pretty decent season so far. But you can see I've made a fairly drastic change, and that is moving Carlos Vela to striker. It's nothing that Christian Ramirez has done. It's just that I want to get Latif Blessing on the field more often, and this is the best possible way that I can do that. We'll see if Carlos Vela works up top. I am kind of skeptical that this is actually going to work. I don't think it will, but fingers crossed. Let's see how this goes. All right, here we go. Kickoff against Columbus. I'm not going to lie, this could be a bit of a nightmare matchup. Not only are we the two top scoring teams in the league, we are number one, they are number two. They have Gyasi Zardes, who I think leads the league in scoring individually, and a player that I struggled to stop, as well as Justin Miram, who I also struggled to stop. So we'll see how this one goes for us. Horta laying it for Win. Back for Horta. Now through for Rossi, who cuts it inside. Lays it for Carlos Vela, but there it is. On his right foot. That's what I'm worried about. Two-star weak foot strikers. If that's Christian Ramirez, I think we probably score. Ooh, great ball there for Horta. Horta's really making a nuisance of himself, and here we go. Here comes Carlos Vela, and actually, oh, that's not what we wanted to do. Oh, we really blew that. I should have shot it with Vela. He was on his left foot. Should have just blasted that across goal. I saw Blessing making the run and thought I could get it to him. Ooh, what the heck? You just passed the ball to George. What is that? Who was that ball even to? And there's Zardes. Oh, he hit the post. Wow, that should be 1-0. To be fair, it should be 1-1, so I can't really complain, but I can't believe Zardes missed it from there. Gonna go up for Lee Win here. Lee Win inside. Plenty of space here for Rossi. In there for Carlos Vela. Good shot, but Zach Steffen. I forgot about Zach Steffen. Oh, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? Actually, Rossi making a great run here. Can we flip this in the box? I see Lee Win, and Lee Win misses the header too. Okay. Up here for Vela. Oh, beautiful play. And another one. Uh-oh. Rossi, I forgot about time. Oh my god. How have we not scored? This is getting ridiculous. I'm getting a little pissed now. I did not know Rossi actually picked up an injury. That's a bit of an issue, seeing as how Blessing would be his replacement. So, I guess, you know what? Let's go Perez. Let's give the another player with really good potential that needs more playing time. Let's get Perez on the field and see what he can do. There we go. Vela, can we get that pass away? Sort of does. Back to Vela, and we're out wide for Beta Shore. Beta Shore plays it inside for Blessing. Blessing, one more. Okay, come on. Lee Win, are you serious? Come on, boys, here we go. Can we find something here? I see, oh, that was not Blessing. That's Vela. That's okay. Through, come on, Lee Win from that close. If Zach Steffen saves that, I'm turning goalkeepers off. I don't care. Zach Steffen's been a pain in my ass in this game. We fully deserve this 1-0. We deserve a 5-0 lead. I've been trash. The team's been a little bit trash, and Zach Steffen has stood on his head at times. But finally, we get this goal. Well deserved. He almost freaking saved that too. We've hit the 92nd minute. Anytime here, ref. Ref, you're really going to give them... Oh my god. Oh my god, please get rid. He really gave them that chance. There was no reason to, but he fully gave them that chance. And they should have really done something with that. That was a ball in a perfect spot, and we did not cover it. Oh my god. Okay, 1-0 win at home against a very good Columbus team. We should have just stomped them out. We didn't, but we'll take the 3 points. Alright, so before we get in and sim this next match against Philadelphia, and the reason I'm simming that match, by the way, is because they're almost in last place in the Eastern Conference, and quite honestly, we have bigger business to take care of in this episode. So before we do that, we do need to talk about what we're going to be doing in this transfer window and how we're going to go about doing this and how we're going to add to this team and what kind of players I'm looking to add and how many, because that's also important for this series, because, well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, really. Let's start with the players that you guys suggested over the course of the first 4 or 5, how many ever episodes there were. There were a lot of good players suggested. I literally looked at every comment, and I looked at every comment probably 4 or 5 times to make sure I had every name and every single player that was suggested. I didn't want to forget anything. The problem is, though, the players that were suggested would be absolutely phenomenal to have in an MLS team. A lot of them are fairly realistic targets for an MLS team if we were starting with a team that didn't have designated players already here, and designated players that we're probably not going to be looking to swap out, at least not in this first season. The only one that may be changing is Carlos Vela, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But a lot of those players, especially like Wilmer Barrios, I really wanted to get him, but he absolutely would be a designated player. I just can't get him. And a lot of the younger players that aren't very good right now but have insane potential, either in real life they would be signed as designated players along the lines of a Ezequiel Barco or a Hector Villalba in Atlanta. They were signed as designated players even though they were very young. Those kinds of players I would want to sign as designated players to keep it realistic, and again, I don't have the designated player spot. And another reason that I don't want to add a ton of players into the team is for the same reason I added the roster rules and the transfer rules and all of this. I'm trying to keep it fairly realistic here. MLS teams don't typically go buy a ton of players in transfer windows. I mean, at most they buy 1 or 2 players. Very rarely do they buy 3 or more players. It just doesn't happen. So I'm going to kind of be sticking with that precedent set by other MLS teams, and I'm not going to buy a lot of players in this transfer window. I don't think it's realistic. Plus, again, I want to be able to not only draft players at the end of the year, but also kind of be forced to use those players just like MLS teams do. And so actually, let's take a look at the expiring contracts and players that are no longer going to be here past the end of the season. I've already re-signed 3 players. That was Tyler Miller, Christian Ramirez, just as kind of a backup option. I like him. I want to keep him in the team. And then also Steven Beitashour, but I only re-signed him for 1 extra season. Just very unsure about that right back position. I want to make sure we have it covered at least into next season. So these are the remaining players that will no longer be with us next year. We have Silva and Kovar both on loans here. They'll be going back to their parent clubs. Then we have Roberts, Lyon, Jakovic, Harvey, Malice, and Urena. That's also 3 international roster spots that are going to be cleared up at the end of the season as well. So we'll have a little bit of flexibility come the off-season transfer window as far as open roster spots and international roster spots. And so now we can finally get into the players that I'm actually looking at bringing in this transfer window. There's a lot of players that were suggested that are not on this list. As a matter of fact, almost all of the players that were suggested are not on this list for one reason or another, and I already explained what those reasons are. So I appreciate those suggestions once again. Just for this series, a lot of those players just didn't make sense for us. But let's get in to see who I'm actually going to be trying to sign. The first name on this list is Julian Green, and there's a couple reasons for this. One, we need a winger. We mentioned that. He fits the bill. He can also play center attacking mid, which is important in case I need to rest Lee Win. I'd rather not move Horta or K up into that spot. Instead, having Julian Green available off the bench is a better option for us. He can also play striker, although I don't foresee him playing that for us. But it's a player with actual name recognition, and it's a player I think that needs a bit of a career reset. He's gone all the way from, Bayern Munich. He was at Bayern Munich at one point. Now he's at Greuther first. He just needs to hit the reset button. Let's bring him to the United States. He spent his whole career in Germany. Let's give him a fresh start. And after Julian Green, it's all center backs. I already said we have to get a center back in this transfer window. So we have a couple of options here. All of them are either from Canada, Mexico, or United States. We don't have to worry about international roster spots with these players either. So we have Antonio Briseno, 24 years old, probably the best option on this list. We have, I don't know how to say his first name. If his name is Manrecker James, that's amazing, but he's a young Canadian defender there. We have Oswaldo Alanis, I think is how you say it. He's 29 years old, more of a veteran presence. but could be a good option for us in the short term. And then Ventura Alvarado, obviously the American center back playing in Mexico. So a couple of good options there. Like I said, I think Briseno's the #1 choice, so I'm going to start with him. We're going to lock down a center back, and then we'll move on to getting Julian Green. All right, so starting off here with Briseno, not too bad. I mean, his transfer fee, I only had to pay 1.8 million, which is an amazing, amazing value. If he is what I think he is, which is almost 70 rated already, we're going to edit this a little bit. They came in with their initial offer, so I didn't even have to offer anything, which I love. Let's bump up his signing bonus a little bit to, let's go 63K. Let's get rid of the appearance bonus. 3.3K per week. That's insanely low wages. I love to see that for an MLS side. Is that going to be enough? It is, and I think we just got a very, very decent center back for extremely cheap. And now we move on to Julian Green here. We had to pay his release clause of nearly 3 million, which isn't a problem for us at all. And we're going to offer him 7.1K per week in wages and a $100,000 signing bonus. Let's see what he says. I might have to bump the wages a little bit, but I'm hoping this should be at least pretty close. No, they're good with that. I'm fine with that contract as well. And Julian Green will be joining the team. And actually, before we can get those players into the team, I forgot we haven't actually played Philadelphia yet. So let's sim this one so we can actually get into the transfer window and get our players into the team and take a look at them. I'm going to roll the same exact team and formation and everything that we had against Columbus. Good start for Carlos Vela at striker. I like to see that. If he can bang goals in simulations, that will take a very, very large load off of this team. And in the end, against a 10-man Philadelphia, to be fair, they got the red card in the 87th minute, but still dropping points at home. And now that we're in the transfer window, we can get our new players into the team. Both of them, Green and Briseno, both 70 rated, which is very, very nice. And we got them for a combined less than $5 million, which is incredible value for two players that are going to help us immensely this year. So Green is going to move up to the bench for Diamande. I might be selling Diamande in this transfer window. He doesn't ever play, and he takes up an international roster spot. So it would be wise if we can to move him as soon as possible. And then Jakovic, he's going to get dropped for Briseno. And I can't wait to see what Briseno can do. He's definitely going to be playing, starting some games for us at center back in the second half of the season. And actually, we have a match right now that I didn't realize was coming up, and it's on short rest, which means Green and Briseno are thrown right into the first team. They're starting in this one. Green in there for Lee Win at center attacking mid, Briseno for Walker Zimmerman at center back. Let's see what the new guys can do, and let's see if we can't pick up 3 points on the road. All right, here we go. Kickoff in Houston. Let's see what the new boys can do. If any of you have been around the channel long enough to remember Julian Green when I had him before, I have had him in career mode, but it's been years since I have. He wasn't exactly impressive for me, so hopefully in FIFA 19, new game, new meta, hopefully he's better than what he used to be. Ball in by Houston. Over to the other side. It's going to fall. Oh my God. Albert Ellis just scored a freaking banger. The swerve on that was ridiculous and disgusting. And I'm not even mad. I mean, I know it's another one of those insane FIFA 19 goals, but it was just so damn pretty. First time volley, upper 90 with opposite spin. That is disgusting behavior, Ellis. And that is what a designated player is for. Man, what a goal. The ball falls out for Latif Blessing. Bad timing. Better timing. Still a crap shot, though. Oh, man. That was really our best look of the first half. We haven't done much of anything. We're really struggling to get into this match. Oh, what a mistake. Oh, Vela plays it through for Rossi. And it's blocked by Willis. How did we not score from that? That was a massive mistake, and we did not capitalize. Again, efficiency today, not been our strong suit. All right, we have a corner here. We're going to try to aim this right here for one of our big guys. It's Briseno. Lays it off, and there's a shot. Really weak. Latif Blessing. I've worked on his finishing a lot. He's still terrible at shooting. Here we go. This is nice. Vela looking for the back heel beautifully. What is the finishing of my team? Ellis is scoring volleyed bangers in the upper 90. We can't even hit a shot faster than 2 miles an hour. What is going on? This is getting ridiculous. Come on, ball for Green. Green cuts it away from one man. Looking for a play. He actually has Latif Blessing, literally. Ref! That is a penalty. It is a penalty. Remick absolutely ran Blessing over for no reason. And we have a chance from the penalty spot with 20 minutes to go. All right, it will be Carlos Vela to take this penalty. I'm going to reposition him a little bit. I feel like the CPU can kind of read my penalties in this game, so I kind of reposition my players, and I didn't. Oh, nice tackle by Julian Green, pressing up the pitch here. K in there for Vela. Vela goes for Julian Green, back for K, looking for Rossi. I know we're tired. I haven't even made one single sub in there. Can we find a ball? No, that was just not very good passing there. Horta, again, slide tackles from behind, man. They're not possible, these tackles that were getting put in on us. And that's the end of the match. We dropped this 1-0. I mean, it's mostly our fault. We didn't finish well at all. That wasn't my fault. Our players, like the finishing, they just dribbled the ball at the goalkeeper 3 or 4 times on clear open chances. Not good performance at all by us. I will say, though, Briseno and Julian Green, probably the 2 best players on the pitch for us in that one. All right, so that loss was fairly disappointing. I don't feel like we should have lost that, but, you know, it happens. And that actually leaves us in 6th place, which is unfortunate. We're having a bit of a rough go at times this season, but we're still putting it all together. Now we're adding new pieces in. It's going to be even more chaotic, so I'm not sure how this season's going to go for us. Hopefully we figure it out and we at least make the playoffs here in Season 1. We are still in the transfer window. Obviously, we're only a couple of days in. And I know I said I didn't want to buy a ton of players in each transfer window, but I do know we're losing quite a few at the end of the season due to expiring contracts. So I probably will be willing to buy 1 or 2 more players. If you want to make suggestions, once again, in the comments, I will look at everything you guys have to say and take a look at who I bought, Green and Briseno, and try to make your suggestions based off of that and who we're looking to bring in at the point that we're at right now. So, not superstar players. We don't have designated player spots available. More of role players and squad players that can add to the strength and depth of this team. That's what I'm looking to bring in this transfer window. Maybe next season we shake things up a little bit and add a few more big players and maybe shift things around and maybe we drop a designated player and bring in a new one. I don't know. But for right now, it's probably going to be more of the role players like I brought in already. So that's it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you when we come back for some more LAFC career. See ya.